part of our economy, feeding communities locally and globally. To secure its future, we need to inspire the next generation to contribute to feeding and clothing the world. The Agribusiness Gateway to Industry Schools project is a partnership between CQUniversity, AgForce Queensland's School to Industry Partnership Program, AgriFutures Australia, and the Queensland Agricultural Teachers Association. The program is funded by the Queensland Government's Department of Trade, Employment and Training. Through this initiative, we're connecting schools with Queensland's vibrant agricultural industry, offering students the opportunity to explore rewarding careers in agriculture and agribusiness. The program will work with schools across the state, offering 2 key engagement streams. 15 schools will be chosen to become gateway schools, working closely with industry to integrate agriculture into the curriculum with support from CQU. The second stream offers teachers the chance to participate in professional development, gaining new insights and teaching tools to bring the science and technology of agriculture into the classroom. At CQUniversity, our Agri-tech education and extension team is dedicated to empowering students and teachers alike with the skills and knowledge needed to succeed in Agri-tech and beyond. Together with our partners, we're helping shape the future of agriculture in Queensland and beyond. Apply now and unlock exciting opportunities in Queensland's thriving agriculture industry. Visit www.agribusinessgateway.com.au to learn more. This is your gateway to a future in agriculture.
Hello everyone, hopefully we got to see that video. Otherwise, if you haven't had a chance, there's a copy of it on our website as well. Good afternoon, it's nice to see lots of different teachers and also some of our industry partners join us this afternoon. We're chatting all around our Gateway to Industry Schools program, all around agriculture and agribusiness, and this afternoon is going to be a bit of a chance to learn about how we'll be delivering this program, all the different opportunities that you could participate, how we can involve our industry partners, or for those industry partners that are joining us as well, to learn a bit more about the program. If you haven't used Zoom webinar before, what you'll see on the bottom of your screen is there going to be some buttons that you'll be able to click and ask some questions. So anytime there's any question that comes to mind, please pop it in the Q&A, and then when we get to the end of our talk today, there'll be plenty of opportunity to answer some questions. I've already got a number of different slides with lots of frequently asked questions that I've already received, so we can all be on top of that together. So the Agribusiness Gateway to Industry Schools program is managed by CQUniversity and funded by the Queensland Department of Trade, Employment and Training, delivered in partnership with AgriFutures Australia, the Queensland Agricultural Teachers Association and AgForce School to Industry Partnership Program. My name's Jamie Manning. I work for CQUniversity and I'm one of our project team members, and it really gives me pleasure to be able to go through this program with you today as an opportunity for you as someone that either works in the agricultural sector in Queensland or as someone that's in a school environment, and different ways that you can participate and involve agriculture more into your classroom and across your school. So there's a couple of different ways that you can become a gateway school, and there's 2 different streams that we're going to be talking about today. You can become a gateway school through stream 1, which we're calling Facilitate, which is a facilitated program. But you can also become a gateway school through stream 2, where you're going to participate in a number of different activities. So to start with today, because we have had applications that have opened for stream 1, we're going to spend most of our time this afternoon talking about stream 1 Facilitate, what it involves, and most importantly, how you can apply and what you're going to need to fill in your application. So our Stream 1 Facilitate is a facilitated 12-month program. So schools that apply, there's going to be 15 of these gateway schools that are going to be selected annually, which means you've got an opportunity to apply this year, and then maybe if you're not successful, you can apply next year. But each year we're going to be having a facilitated 12-month program with those 15 schools. But most importantly, there's going to be 2 different programs for those, because we know that our Queensland schools and all of your school environments are very different. For some of you, you might already have an established agricultural program, and so you've already got an idea of what you might want to expand in that. And for some other schools, you might not offer agriculture, but you're looking to offer it into the future, or maybe you're offering it into other aspects of the curriculum without offering it as a standalone subject. So most importantly, regardless of your school, whether it offers agriculture or not, there's lots of different ways that you can get involved, but we're going to be supporting a mixture of schools through that established agriculture program and also through those that we're going to classify more as an emerging program. But schools that are selected, what we're really trying to focus on in this 12-month program is getting you to think about how you can create a program that involves more than just agriculture, lots of different subjects across the curriculum, and more importantly, other teachers across your school. So those that work in agriculture, we know that we talk about agriculture in lots of different ways, and we can need lots of different skills, and whether it's those that are more artistic, whether it's some of those business skills in geography through mapping, everything from mathematics, geography, cooking. There's lots of different ways that we can talk about agriculture and lots of different subjects. And in Stream 1, we want you to think about how you can start engaging with other teachers, other subjects to bring a program that goes across multiple different disciplines. So focusing on that collaboration across the subjects. Those 15 schools that are going to be selected are going to be supported to develop an individualised work plan for the year. And we're not dictating what that involves because really we want to work with you. So you're going to be facilitated by our team here at CQUniversity and all of our industry partners to develop a plan that works for both you and your school for the entire year. And we can see some different photos and examples on the screen of ones that we've done in the past for other different programs, and whether it's helping you to facilitate some of those industry connections so you can get students out of the classroom, visiting an agribusiness or an agricultural enterprise and actually getting them to see that firsthand. Or maybe you want to establish an agricultural program and you need support to be able to develop a school farm, implement a new type of software or hardware or technology on that farm or your school farm. Or maybe it's getting some industry experts into the classroom to deliver certain content. It really is going to be with us working with you to work out what you want to achieve in that 12-month program. What you'll also receive if you're selected as one of these 15 gateway schools is you're going to receive $2,500 in funding to support the implementation of your activities. And again, that's going to depend what you want to do, whether you want to use them to hire buses to be able to get students out of the school and onto an agricultural enterprise, whether it's you want to buy a certain kind of software or hardware or some small capital purchase. We'll be working with you to work out what works best over that 12 months. What you'll also receive is some tailored professional development for your school. And so this is really going to be dependent on what we want to achieve across that 12 months for your work plan. We'll be coming into and visiting every single school that's selected, so each of those 15 schools. And when we're there, we'll be able to give some hands-on support and guidance and professional development, whether it's to you, whether it's delivering something to your class, whether it's doing a whole of school or whole of department teacher professional development session, or getting you guys, you teachers, out of the classroom and seeing something else to help facilitate that program. And we'll be facilitating our industry connections. We've got a number of different of our industry partners I can see online. I'm going to show you a number of them that have already joined the program. And this is really just the start of our industry support. And these guys are really going to be integral to help you develop, hopefully new and establish and build those connections that you already have with industry. So you can see for Stream 1, it is a facilitated program. And what we're going to do is go through sort of the 4 main key opportunities of why you might want to consider for your school to apply for Stream 1, that facilitated Gateway Schools program. And these are sort of our 4 main objectives of what we think you'll be able to achieve if you're successful, or why you might want to consider applying for Stream 1. That first is around curriculum integration. So a requirement, if you're selected as a Stream 1 Gateway school, is that you'll be developing some lesson plans with your industry partners that we partner you with, so you can start bringing some of those real world knowledge and examples into your classroom. Industry engagement, so whether it's facilitation of different excursions, incursions, but really helping you to build those industry connections. For some of you, especially those in the established agricultural stream, you're already going to have a number of different agricultural connections already. But what we're hoping you might want to achieve is to think about a new agricultural sector that maybe you don't have the confidence or you don't already explore, and how we can bring on some of our industry partners or industry sectors that you might not have considered, and and start building some of those new connections there. The third is around pathways to employment. So a really big part of the program is getting students to think about how they might consider their next steps in agriculture, and whether that's direct employment into the sector, maybe it's further education through training partnership, vocational education, higher education, trying to talk to them and getting them some real world experiences around what those next steps and those pathways can be, because we know that in agriculture, there's not just one pathway that they can follow. There's a number of different ones, and giving them a chance to think about and engage with those that are already in the sector and how they followed their own career journey. And the fourth is around ongoing support. So it is a facilitated 12-month program that you will be supported by our project team here at CQU and our industry partners, and also Quada, AgriFutures and AgForce SIPP, to really make sure that you've got support throughout that 12 months to develop your program and achieve the goals that we collectively set out together at the beginning. So for those that have followed some of our updates, here are some of the key dates to keep an eye out for. Our applications already opened. They opened last week. I can already see that there was a number of applications that are already submitted. And hopefully for the rest of you that are joining us today, I can give you some more tips about what you might want to include in your application to hopefully make it successful. So those applications are going to close on the 24th of March, 2025. And you'll be our Stream 1 Gateway schools are going to be announced on the 22nd of April, 2025. So the next part of our session today, I want to go through the application. The application is available online. So if you go through our website, you click apply and you read the text, you'll be able to see you can actually download a copy of the application to see the questions you're going to get asked. But I've also got them here to step through this afternoon around what the application looks like. We've tried to keep it really, really short, so trying to just get the key information that we need to work out which schools will be selected for the 2025 Stream 1 program. You're going to complete it online. It shouldn't take you any more than 20 minutes, but just a note, if you haven't looked at it before, it does require you to upload a letter of support from your principal or your school leadership team, and whether you do that as part of your application, or you can email us a copy of it afterwards, providing it's all submitted before the closing date for applications. So when you have a look at the application, there's three key aspects that we are looking for. The first is around your school details, which should be hopefully quite easy for you to complete, around where your school is located and telling us a little bit about your school. Does it offer agriculture? Are you planning to offer it in the future? What do your student numbers look like? And then if you're the teacher that's submitting your application, there's going to be some different questions you're going to be asked around a series of statements around your confidence in agriculture, and also getting some information around the barriers that you face and support measures that are required. But it's important to note that these first two categories are not going to impact your application. So this is just some background information for us and of your school and yourself, but it's not going to impact or change the ranking of your application when we do get to the selection criteria and working out which of those 15 schools are going to be selected. So don't panic about this part, especially the confidence bit. We know some of you might not be confident about teaching certain concepts in agriculture, and that's completely fine. It's not going to impact your application or the potential success of it. What is going to impact is that final part, which is getting some information about your Gateway School program. So these are sort of the three categories that we're looking at. So what we want in this information, and this is what will be used to rank your applications to pick those 15 schools, is to find out some information about what you hope to achieve in those 12 months. The first is around the subjects that you anticipate will be involved. So we're looking for applications that want to involve more than just the agricultural teacher. We want to see that you are thinking about what other departments and teachers and sectors that you can bring together in your Gateway School program to create something new. So it has to have ideally at least two different subjects that are going to be involved in that Stream 1 facilitated Gateway Schools program. The second bit is around industry sectors or careers that you wish to build connections with. And so we're trying to see your ability to identify sectors that you wish to engage with. Now, I'm not after certain contact details for sectors or people. You don't need that level of detail. I want to know that you have thought about your Gateway School program. What sector of agriculture do you want to target, or sectors? Maybe it's our viticulture sector, maybe it is cotton, maybe it's beef, whatever it might be. We want to see that you start to think about some specifics around sectors that you wish to engage with. And that's also going to help us when we do pick those schools to go back to our industry partners to work out how they might be able to support you and what different ways that they can offer some assistance. And the third bit is around your statement, which requires a maximum of 500 words. So don't give us any more than 500 words, but it's a 500-word statement, description, a bit of a paragraph about your motivations and aspirations to become an Agribusiness Gateway School in 2025. And I've got some examples here on the screen for you. What we're hoping in these 500 words is really going to be your first chance to describe your program. So we want a couple of sentences around what is your program going to look like? Do you mainly want a program to be able to implement a new agricultural plot and purchase some irrigation, and you want to look at the impacts of water usage on growing some cotton? Or do you want to use your Agricultural Gateway School program to facilitate getting students to have an excursion, get out of the classroom and start seeing things outside? So whatever your Agricultural Gateway program looks like, and it just has to be a couple of sentences because we're going to work with you to be able to develop that. We want to see that you've got some vision or some goals for your program. So what do you hope to achieve in those 12 months? And most importantly, if we think about a big part of these programs, we're thinking about our next generation agricultural workforce, which are our current students in your classrooms, and what skills or why are they going to be successful if your school is selected as a gateway school? What can we give them in those 12 months to help them start thinking about the next steps in agriculture? So just to reiterate, because we're trying to keep these applications really, really short so they don't take much time, the first two parts of those school details and your details are not going to be assessed. It's just some background information for us. This is where I want you to spend most of your time in completing it around the subjects you want to be involved, those different agricultural sectors, and give us some nice information around what your program looks like. Now, to help with that application, I'm going to show you some of the selection criteria for our Stream 1 Gateway program. So there's a selection committee that's involved, which includes our partners on the project, so AgriFutures, AgForce, SIPP, Quata, and CQU. But if you do have any specific questions around the Gateway Schools program, the application, everything's going to be directed to ageducation@cqu.edu.au. Or you've got a chance, if you haven't already, start putting some questions. I can see some already coming through in that Q&A that we'll address at the end of today's session. And that way we can make sure that all the information, if it's relevant to everyone, is transparent and available to everyone. So when we look at the selection criteria for Stream 1, our facilitated Gateway Schools program, there's these 4 criteria that our selection committee are going to look at. The first is around our school commitment and readiness, and how we're going to assess that is that you have received support from your school. And this will be one of our frequently asked questions at the end, that if you don't supply or submit a letter of support from your school, your application won't be eligible. So we're looking for support from your school leadership team, and that hopefully in that letter as well that you've identified that it's going to be a school-wide program. So I'd also use this letter as a chance to provide some additional information about what your program is going to look like. How does this Gateway Schools program help your school's objectives? How does it have benefits for the school and also the community and also your students as well? And so 500 words in your application is really short. And if you wanted to, you might want to include a tiny paragraph or a couple of sentences in that letter of support from your leadership team about why participating is going to be beneficial to your school, your teachers, your students, and hopefully your community as well. The second part is around capacity and confidence to implement the program. And this is not related to those confidence questions that we asked in the application. We're looking at it more from a collaboration perspective. So when they had that question that said, identify the subjects that are going to be part of the Gateway program, we want to see that you actually have, or you are going to collaborate across subjects, across the school curriculum. So that will be your chance to provide some detail there around that Gateway Schools program. Are you going to start collaborating further with whatever department it might be? Maybe it's in mathematics, and the data that you're collecting on the school farm is going to be used for the mathematics team to be able to give them some real world practical examples using some authentic data that you're collecting. Whatever it might be, we're here, we want to have a look at how that program, you're going to have the capacity to implement it. And the only way you're going to have the capacity to implement it is if you've got support across your school or from at least a couple of different subjects or departments at your school. The third one is around industry and career connections. And again, we're not necessarily looking that you already have those industry connections. That's what we're here for. And that's what our wonderful industry partners are here for. What we want to see is you how to think about what sectors in particular across agriculture you want to engage further with, that you can identify some of those sectors and you can show how those sectors are going to be really important to the implementation of that program and to engage your school better with that sector in your community. And the fourth one is all around motivation and vision. And so that's around that 500-word statement that we're asking about your program. And you'll see some similar words that I've had here that I included on that previous slide, that we want to see that you've got, whether it's some short or long-term goals or visions for your program, that there's something you hopefully want to achieve that we can help you achieve in the 12 months. So at the end of the year, we start sharing some of the case studies of our selected 15 Gateway schools in Stream 1. We can showcase how you guys achieve those particular goals and how you're helping to build the skill set of our next generation workforce. So they're the 4 selection criteria that we'll be looking at to assess those applications with our selection committee, and those dates are all on our website, but you've still got a good 5 or 6 weeks to complete those applications. But if you do have any specific questions around Stream 1, please continue putting them through the Q&A, and I've got some that have already come through that I'll have a chat to you about right at the end through our frequently asked questions. So that was the first stream. Remember, there's 2 different ways that you can participate in our Gateway Schools program. The second one is that you can be in Stream 2, which is all around participation. So for some of you, the Stream 1 facilitation program might not be for you, and that's fine, or you might want to participate in both of them. It's important to note that you don't have to apply for Stream 1 to participate in Stream 2. You can participate in both of them. You don't need to fill in an application for Stream 1 if you only want to do the opportunities that I'm about to share with you on the next couple of slides. Most importantly, when we talk about Stream 2, which is all around participation, is that these are going to be opportunities located all over Queensland. So whilst those 15 schools that get selected in Stream 1 are going to be spread out across metropolitan and regional Queensland, Stream 2 participate is really going to give you a chance to participate regardless of where you're located in Queensland, regardless of what your school offers, and regardless of your expertise and confidence. And so whether you're looking to build industry connections, enhance student learning, or explore career pathways in agriculture, we hope that in Stream 2 participate, that there's a number of different ways that you can engage in this program. So there's going to be 4 different ways that you can participate that we can see here on the screen. The first is there's going to be a curriculum-aligned module that's going to be developed every year and released annually, which means over the next 3 years, you're going to have access to a new curriculum-aligned module every year to consider implementing in your classroom. And if you haven't worked with us before, or those that have worked with us before, hopefully what you know is that we really like developing curriculum-aligned modules that are hands-on, that focus on those real-world case studies with our industry partners. And that's why we have our industry partners on board, so we can start giving students those authentic experiences that we have in agriculture that are really, really plentiful. So you'll find more about this curriculum-aligned module as we get closer to those dates on the next couple of slides, which is going to be in Term 2, 2025. So that is one way that you'll be able to implement some of the activities from our Gateway Schools program, is participating or getting access to our curriculum-aligned module and delivering it in your classroom. But what you also can potentially consider is having an incursion where the project team from CQU actually come in your classroom and they're going to deliver that curriculum aligned module with you and to support you about how it might work for your students and your school. The next one is online webinars, just like this. It's a really nice opportunity to give everyone a chance to have access without having to travel or stay overnight or go to a new location to learn something new. And there's going to be a series of different career panels, industry partner meet and greets, introduction to that curriculum aligned module once it's released, and some online teacher PD. But most importantly, we're here to support you as a Queensland teacher. So if there is a particular topic or something that is not out there that you want support with, using these online webinars is going to be a really good chance for you to give us feedback about what you want, and we can bring in the appropriate people or industry partners to deliver a session that you can then either use as your own professional development, or you could use that as a session with your students as well. So you've got all our contact details, and if there's something that you really, really wanted, that maybe over the last couple of years you've really wanted to meet someone, or a certain sector that you really want to find more about, or whatever it might be, please reach out, give us some ideas. We'd love to hear from you. And then the fourth one is all around teacher professional development. So there's going to be some face-to-face opportunities for you to participate, as well as those online ones for those where they might be in locations that don't quite work for you this year. Each year, we're going to pick different locations to offer the teacher PD so that we can give you guys as Queensland teachers lots of different opportunities to engage in the program. So the key dates for Stream 2 participate is going to be from Term 2 onwards. You're going to see information more around that curriculum-aligned module. One of our first webinars that's coming up is going to be an agribusiness career panel. We've already been sent some different idea topics from our industry partners or interesting people. But again, if there's someone in particular that you're after, please send through any suggestions that you might have. So I mentioned I've got some of our industry partners that are online this afternoon, and these are a really big integral part of our program. We start thinking about how you guys are going to build those connections in agriculture, develop new ones, or maybe establish some of those existing ones. So we're very fortunate already to have 19 industry partners on board on this program. You can already see across your screen here that vary of lots of different agricultural commodities or agribusiness, or thinking about the skills that our next generation are going to need, or our education partners as well. And this is really just going to be the beginning of these new partnerships and connections. And you're going to hear a lot more about our industry partners and also how they're going to be here to help you in a number of different ways. And so they can help in lots of different ways. And I've just thrown a heap of different examples on the screen to give you some ideas. Some of them you might be familiar with, where maybe you've already engaged an industry partner and you've worked with someone that's local in your region to develop those connections. But there's also lots of other ways that our industry partners can be involved, and they've got lots of different skill sets and lots of different expertise, and maybe it's a certain type of software, machinery, or resource that they have that will be able to help build those connections. Of maybe you might be able to borrow a certain soil sensor it is for a couple of weeks while you deliver a certain activity in the classroom. Maybe they might want to host your students for an excursion. Maybe you're in a location where that agricultural commodity doesn't even exist, so then we can participate in an incursion, or maybe it's a Zoom call to learn more about that sector. Whether it's mentorship, provide ideas, or some of the different challenges that we face in agriculture, or another way of your choice. I've just thrown all these different examples here because our industry partners are going to be a part of our program for both Stream 1 and Stream 2, and it really is going to depend on what you need or what you're after of how we can start building some of those different connections. So we've already had a number of different frequently asked questions of people that have reached out to us, which is really, really exciting to see. Everyone's really excited to engage in this program. So what I've done over the next couple of slides, I've put all of the frequently asked questions that I've already received over the last couple of weeks, because I feel there's probably going to be some of them that you already might have or that are coming through. And then what we'll do is we'll go to the Q&A and see if there's anything that we have missed, and we will cover that. So the first one we've had is, will there be grants similar to the previous program that we can apply for? And so this is a completely new program that we are delivering. So your opportunities to participate are in those two different streams, either as a Stream 1 facilitated program as a gateway school, or as a Stream 2 school in the Participate program, but there's not going to be the same grants that were offered previously. Will you be running the same challenges or previous activities? And one of the examples that's come up is the Merino Challenge. And no, we're going to be offering those two streams for you to participate in. Those schools that have participated, especially in the Merino Challenge, I know have been emailed resources from DPI, and otherwise you're more than welcome to get in contact with DPI further about that specific challenge if you've got any queries. If I was a previous Gateway school, am I automatically selected for the CQU Gateway Schools program in Stream 1? And the answer is no. So this is a whole new program, so you're going to have to apply like everyone else. I know we've got a number of schools that are a part of our chat today that have been part of the Gateway to Industry Schools program for a number of years. But we've also got a number of schools that are new that haven't participated as well. So you're all in the exact same boat. If you want to participate in the facilitated Stream 1 program, then you'll have to apply. And then likewise, when we start offering some of those opportunities in Stream 2, there'll be an opportunity for you and your school to engage as well. Is the CQU Gateway Schools project the same as DAF/DPI's one? And hopefully what you've seen is it's not. There's two different programs. Ours is really focusing on that facilitated program and helping you develop a whole of school year program that's facilitated with support from us, or participating in the 4 different ways that you can participate in Stream 2 through incursions and the curriculum-aligned module, the teacher PD, webinars, or I'm probably missing something else. Is my school eligible? Finally, a question I can say yes to. So if you're a Queensland government Catholic independent school, you are all eligible. So if you're sitting here and you're a Queensland teacher and you're located in Queensland, your school is eligible to apply, and we highly encourage that you do. We are a regional school. Are we eligible? So there's 0 restrictions on your location. We're going to make sure that for Stream 1, that facilitated program, that there is a spread of schools selected across Queensland. So regardless if you're a regional school or a metropolitan school or wherever you are in Queensland, you are eligible to apply. My school doesn't offer agriculture as a standalone subject. Can I apply to be a gateway school? Yes. So in that Stream 1 facilitated program, we've got those 2 options for gateway schools. That established programs, those schools that already offer agriculture, but even if your school doesn't offer it as a standalone subject, we're going to put you into that emerging category. So just make sure in your application that you describe what your program is, what you hope to achieve, but it doesn't matter if your school doesn't offer agriculture as a standalone subject, you're still eligible to apply, providing you meet those criteria of thinking about how you might want to integrate agriculture across a number of different subject choices in your school. If I'm selected in 2025, can I reapply in 2026 for Stream 1? It's really exciting that people are excited and want to participate in that facilitated program a number of times. But unfortunately, if you're selected as one of those 15 schools in Stream 1 in 2025, you cannot apply again in 2026. But good news, you can participate in everything in Stream 2 annually, regardless if you're selected as a gateway school, whatever year it might be. If I'm not selected in 2025, can I reapply in 2026 for Stream 1? Absolutely, and we highly encourage that you do. We know that only 15 schools are going to be selected for that. So if you aren't successful, remember there's still lots of ways you can engage in the project and opportunities through Stream 2. And then next year when it rolls around, your application will be in even better position to be considered for 2026. Can my school put in multiple applications for Stream 1? The answer is no. So a really big focus of Stream 1 is on collaboration across your school, across your departments. So it's not appropriate or acceptable for you or your school to put in multiple applications for Stream 1. We really want to see that your school has come together to think about your Gateway School program collectively to work out how we might have a number of different goals and visions that are suitable for each of those different subject choices, departments, whatever it might be. But if you are a school that's thinking about putting in multiple applications, we expect you to collaborate just on one. Can I view the application prior to writing the submission? You can. So just go through our website, click on the application link, and you'll be able to download a copy of that application. I'm going to send around a recording of the webinar this afternoon and a copy of all these slides as well. That's going to have all of these questions, that selection criteria, what the application looks like, and all of that. And you'll be able to have lots of different ways that you can see those questions. So we don't want you to be surprised. We want you to have time to think about what you're going to put in it. Does the ag teacher need to lead the application? The answer is no. So again, we're focused on collaboration. So it's not going to change or put your application in a higher position if the ag teacher leads the application. We just want to see that you are collaborating. So it doesn't matter if the ag teacher is the submitting teacher's details on the application or if it's the geography teacher. It makes no difference. It's not going to change your ranking at all. But I do encourage you to engage both departments, and especially if your school already offers agriculture, it seems really important that you're going to be involving them in the conversation as well. Will late applications be accepted? Unfortunately not. So applications close on the 24th of March. You've still got plenty of time to think about writing that application, but just make sure that it is in before that closing date. Can I submit an application without a school letter of support? We touched on this before, that is one of the selection criteria for it. And so if you do submit your application without it, or if you submit it and say it's going to come soon, but you miss that deadline of when applications close, your application will be ineligible. Can I request for more than the allocated funding if successful as a gateway school in Stream 1? So all of those 15 schools are going to receive the same allocated funding, so that $2,500. But remember, there's lots more than just the cash contribution that's going to be a part of that program. It's going to be a lot of in-kind support. We've got lots of different industry partners that we can engage you with. And depending on what your program looks like, there'll be other ways that we can help you if a funding of a certain small infrastructure or capital purchase is really necessary for the success of your program. Can I request for specific agricultural sectors to work with? Yes, you can. So we're going to ask in that question, remember, of what sectors you want to engage with. Once you're then successful and we've picked those 15 schools, we'll be sitting down with you and all the teachers that will be involved in that program. And then that's going to be where we're going to start those conversations about what exactly do you need, and we'll be able to help you through those specific agricultural sectors, because we know there's so many different commodities when we think of agriculture, but we really want you to think about what specifically you're after or what's going to be beneficial to you. We're nearly there. I've had a lot of questions over the last couple of weeks. Can I find out more information about the program for my school? If you haven't already, check out our website. There's lots of information that's there. Or you can send us an email at ageducation.edu, ageducation@cqu.edu.au. We don't wish to be involved in Stream 1. Are there other opportunities for participation? So remember, you can participate in that Stream 2. Just make sure that you're on the relevant mailing list. All of you have received stuff today because you're probably already on it. But if you've got other teachers at your school that want to stay in the loop with activities that are happening, just make sure that you join the mailing list so that we can keep you up to date as things are released and new dates come up for different teacher PDs and webinars and whatever it might be. So providing you're on the mailing list, you're going to get everything that's going to be offered as a Stream 2 participation opportunity. We don't wish to be involved in Stream 1. Do we still have to apply as a gateway school to participate in Stream 2? No, again, same as before, providing you're on that mailing list, you're going to receive all of the different information. So have a think about you and your school, whether you want to apply for Stream 1. We encourage you. We want to see lots of different diverse applications coming through. But if you don't want to participate in that part, that's fine. Just make sure you're on that mailing list and you'll still be able to participate in everything for Stream 2. Now, that was a huge mouthful of lots of different questions. I know that we've had a number of different questions that have come through that I'm just going to go through and answer for us. So let's have a look. Some questions around the letter of support from the principal. So what does it actually need? So it needs to say that your leadership team or your school principal supports your application, but I'd also use it as an opportunity to provide some details about what the benefits are going to be if your school is selected as a Stream 1 gateway school. What are the benefits and why we might want to consider making sure that your school is selected? So you might need to help your principal write a couple of different sentences. I want you to think about what the benefits might be to your entire school, what the benefits might be to you as a teacher or you as a department, and what the benefits might be for engaging with your local community and the agricultural sector more broadly. So there's no specific template for it, but I really use it as an opportunity to spruik and promote your gateway school application a bit further and to showcase why it's going to be beneficial for your school and those students. Got some questions around collaboration. It can be difficult to collaborate with some other departments, and how might convince them. So I'm more than happy if you need some support and to jump on a call or need me to write an email or something to showcase the benefits of why another department might want to collaborate on your application. So if you are potentially at a school where that's a little bit challenging and maybe you don't have the support, ideally it'd be nice if you have support from your leadership team or executive team to help facilitate some of those conversations and connections. But if you don't, perhaps you might want to reach out to us and we can try and work out a way to approach some of these other departments. Remember, you only need at least 2 departments that are collaborating. So if there's a department that really is maybe not the favorite, think about all those other departments that you have across your school that maybe might not come straight away front of mind. So maybe you might want to avoid that one and think about some other departments you might want to collaborate on. Got some questions around the number of schools that are getting selected. So those 15 schools for Stream 1, but is there a cap on Stream 2? Absolutely not. That's the most exciting thing about Stream 2 is it doesn't matter where you're located. You're going to have the opportunity to participate in all of those different opportunities. Obviously, there's going to be some locations when we're, say, delivering a face-to-face teacher PD where it might not be the most easy location for you to get to. So for this year, maybe that teacher face-to-face PD might not be something you'll be able to attend or get support from if it's located 15 hours away from you. But we will be picking lots of different locations over the next 3 years and having them in different spots to give you lots of different opportunities. But there's a 0 cap on Stream 2. Encourage you to think about doing as much that you can participate in. If the school doesn't have agriculture as a subject, would Stream 2 facilitation be the best way to start? I would say no. I really want to see, and we really want to encourage some of those schools that don't offer agriculture to consider applying for Stream 1 facilitation. So agriculture, we think about, it doesn't necessarily have to be as a standalone subject. We talk about food and fibre principles in lots of different things. Maybe you've got plans in the grand future to have agriculture at your school as a standalone subject. But even if that's not the case, there's different ways that you could write your application to show how you're going to collaborate across a number of different subjects to integrate some of those concepts more into the classroom. So there's no pressure at all, But if you don't have agriculture as a subject, I'd still really encourage you to think about applying as a Stream 1 facilitated gateway school. Remember, some of those schools are going to be selected as an emerging agricultural program. Your agricultural gateway school is going to look really different to some of those other ones, but we want to see lots of different ways that we can think about you guys becoming a gateway school and lots of different ways that we can talk about agriculture. So have a think about how you might want to integrate some more agricultural concepts into whatever subject is your specialty, and then we can have a think about how support from our project team and our industry partners across that 12 months could be beneficial for your school to help deliver some of those concepts. I think I've nearly got through any that have come through, or otherwise have already been answered, but otherwise you've got our details. So if there's a question that I haven't answered, or maybe you didn't like how I'd answered my answer and I can give you a slightly different polished version, please send us an email, ageducation@cqu.edu.au. You can visit our website, agribusinessgateway.com.au, to find more information. I'm going to email a copy of these slides, but if there is a question that pops up as you start thinking about your applications, especially for Stream 1 facilitated program, and you're not sure, we're here to help you. So please, if you're really having trouble or need support in any way, send us an email. We're happy to catch up with you, learn more about your school and what we can do. All of you, I'm assuming, are already on our Gateway mailing list, but if you've got other teachers that want to keep up to date with things that are going to be delivered, go onto that mailing list. Otherwise, hopefully we'll see lots more applications coming through over the next several weeks. You've got until the end of March, so plenty of time, but do reach out if we can assist you, and hopefully we'll be seeing you more over the next couple of years as we start delivering more in Queensland and seeing you and your students. Thanks for coming. It was nice to see lots of new faces and lots of, I won't say old faces, existing names that come and done programs. So we'll talk to you all soon. Bye for now.